Hello, hello. So, I have been spending the last 2 years of my life studying and fighting back against critical race theory. And it is to the point now where I literally spend my days watching these trainings that are done in organizations and trainings that are done for teachers and even classroom instruction for school children in this absurd ideology. And let me tell you some of the things that I've seen directly with my own eyes. So, the Coca-Cola Company. About a month or a couple months ago, I got an email from an employee at the Coca-Cola Company. They said, Karlyn, we all came in today, we're told we were mandated to do this training that told us to be less white. The training told them that white people were oppressors, they were aggressive, they weren't humble, they don't listen. And the instruction they were given by their superiors to keep their jobs is to try to be less white. And that training is not only done in the Coca-Cola Company, it is done in thousands of organizations across this country. Let me tell you about Sandia National Laboratories, which is the company that is in charge of maintaining our nuclear arsenal. They forced their white male executives to go on a 3-day retreat in New Mexico where they were forced to write letters apologizing for their inherent racism, even if their behavior had not been racist. The University of New Hampshire has trained their staff that the role of white employees is to shut up and to accept this absurd ideology, and if they fight back or question their racism in any way, that is just further proof of their inherent racism. I have seen classes for 14-year-old children where teachers are indoctrinating them into this ideology and teaching them if they believe in the Pledge of Allegiance, then they must accept critical race theory because that's the only way we're going to build a better country that is fair and equal to everyone. I have seen curriculum for students as young as 4 years old where they are teaching them this ideology. And I've heard a lot of people say they have biracial children here, so let me tell you what the teachers are teaching your biracial children. Because about 3 months ago, I sat in on a teacher training program and this question was asked. How do we work with our biracial children, our children who have one white parent and one non-white parent? Here's the answer. They are teaching these children to not identify with the white part of themselves because the white part is the oppressor, to only identify with the color part of themselves and not the white part of themselves. They're literally teaching that whoever the white parent is a racist and an oppressor. This is happening in schools all over the country. It is happening in New Hampshire. We have evidence that it is happening in schools all over this state, in Concord, in Bedford, in Holderness, everywhere. If you don't think it's happening in your kid's school, you just haven't seen it yet, but I promise you it is. But let me tell you this. Here is the bigger problem that we have, because listen, I was a Democrat for 20 years until I left the party last year after I realized what liars they are. The Democratic Party at this point is lost. We did not expect any of them to support this bill at all. But I have to tell you, I was more than a little surprised when our Republicans were coming out and saying, maybe we should just compromise. Maybe we should just give it up. You know, Rand said that a compromise between food and poison can only lead to death. Critical race theory is poison. Any compromise with this absurd ideology is only going to lead to your children being indoctrinated by the teachers in their schools until they come home and say, why did the teacher say that mommy and daddy is racist? And I have a bigger problem with our governor. Let me tell you this. This rally should not even be necessary. This should not even be necessary. We live in a state where the Republicans control every branch of government. This should be an absolute no-brainer, but our governor, because he wants to run for Senate in 2022, is trying to kiss the backside of the Democrats in order to get their votes, and in the process, he is throwing your children under the bus. He is throwing your own party under the bus. This should not be tolerated. You cannot continue to vote for these people who will throw you away in an instant as soon as they get elected to office. This is disgusting, and everyone should be reaching out to him and demanding that he do his job and support the voters who put him in office. There can be no playing nice on this issue. I have been canceled 4 or 5 times in the last year by these people. They do not play nice. They will not compromise. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile. This is a time where we all need to stand strong. We need to stand our ground because there are more of us than there are of them. And as long as we stick together, we will win. Thank you guys for coming out.